Reading number 8 from 170 Chinese Poems as translated by Arthur Whaley, as narrated by Teresa Garcia or Amehana Arashi. Chapter 4 Inviting Guests by Cheng Kung Sui, died AD 273. I sent out invitations to summon guests. I collected together all my friends. Loud talk and simple feasting, discussion of philosophy, investigation of subtleties. Tongues loosened and minds at one, hearts refreshed by discharge of emotion. By Tao Yun, circa AD 400, wife of General Wang Ningqi. The general was so stupid that she finally deserted him. High rises the eastern peak, soaring up to the blue sky. Among the rocks an empty hollow, secret, still, mysterious, uncarved and unhewn, screened by nature with a roof of clouds. Times and seasons, what things are you, bringing to my life ceaseless change? I will lodge forever in this hollow, where springs and autumns unheeded pass. Sailing Homeward by Chan Fang Sheng, 4th century AD. Cliffs that rise 1,000 feet without a break, lake that stretches 100 miles without a wave, sands that are white through all the year without a stain, pine tree woods, winter and summer, evergreen, streams that forever flow and flow without a pause, trees that for 20,000 years your vows have kept. You have suddenly healed the pain of a traveler's heart and moved his brush to write a new song. 5 Zhu Ye Songs. At the time when blossoms fall from the cherry tree, on a day when yellow birds hovered in the branches, you said you must stop because your horse was tired. I said I must go because my silkworms were hungry. All night I could not sleep because of the moonlight on my bed. I kept on hearing a voice calling. Out of nowhere, nothing answered yes. I will carry my coat and not put on my belt. With unpainted eyebrows I will stand at the front window. My tiresome petticoat keeps on flapping about. If it opens a little, I shall blame the spring wind. I heard my love was going to Yangchu, and went with him as far as Chushan. For a moment, when you held me fast in your outstretched arms, I thought the river stood still and did not flow. I have brought my pillow and am lying at the northern window. So come to me and play with me a while. With so much quarreling and so few kisses, how long do you think our love can last? The Little Lady of Jingxi, a children's song. Her door opened on the white water, close by the side of the timber bridge. That's where the little lady lived, all alone without a lover. Plucking the rushes. A boy and girl are sent to gather rushes for thatching. Anonymous, 4th century. Green rushes with red shoots, long leaves bending to the wind. You and I in the same boat, plucking rushes at the 5 lakes. We started at dawn from the Orchid Island. We rested under the elms till noon. You and I plucking rushes, had not plucked a handful when night came. Ballad of the Western Island in the North Country. Seeing the plum tree, I thought of the Western Island, and I plucked a branch to send to the North Country. I put on my dress of apricot yellow silk, and bound up my hair black as the crow's wing. But which is the road that leads to the Western Island? I'll ask the man at the ferry by the bridge of boats. but the sun is sinking and the orioles flying home, and the wind is blowing and sighing in the walnut tree. I'll stand under the tree just beside the gate. I'll stand by the door and show off my enameled hairpins. She's opened the gate, but her lover has not come. She's gone out at the gate to pluck red lotus. As she plucks the lotus on the southern dike in autumn, the lotus flowers stand higher than a man's head. She bends down and plays with the lotus seeds. The lotus seeds are green like the lake water. She gathers the flowers and puts them into her gown, the lotus bud that is red all through. She thinks of her lover that does not come. She looks up and sees the wild geese flying. The western island is full of wild geese. To look for her lover, she climbs the blue tower. The tower is high. She looks but cannot see. All day she leans on the balcony rails. The rail is twisted into a 12-fold pattern. She lets fall her hand, white like the color of jade. She rolls up the awning. She sees the wide blue sky, and the sea water waving its vacant blue. The sea shall carry my dreams far away, so that you shall be sorry at last for my sorrow. If the south wind only knew my thoughts, it would blow my dreams till they got to the western island. Song by Sang Chi, 6th century. I was brought up under the stone castle. My window opened onto the castle tower. In the castle were beautiful young men who waved to me as they went in and out. Song of the Men of Qinling marching back into the capital. By Xie Tiao, 5th century A.D. Changnan is a glorious and beautiful land, and Qinling an exalted and kingly province. The green canals of the city stretch on, and its high towers stretch up and up. Flying gables lean over the bridle road. Drooping willows cover the royal aqueduct. Shrill flutes sing by the coach's awning, and reiterated drums bang near its painted wheels. The names of the deserving shall be carved on the cloud terrace, and for those who have done valiantly, rich reward awaits. Note 34. The Cloud Terrace is the record office. The Scholar Recruit by Pao Chao, died AD 466. Now late, I follow time's necessity. Mounting a barricade, I pacify remote tribes. Discarding my sash, I don a coat of rhinoceros skin. Rolling up my skirts, I shoulder a black bow. Even at the very start, my strength fails. What will become of me before it's all over? Note 35. Time's necessity is to enlist. The Red Hills by Pao Chao. Red hills lie athwart us as a menace in the west, and fiery mountains glare terrible in the south. The body burns, the head aches and throbs. If a bird light here, its soul forthwith departs. Warm springs pour from cloudy pools, and hot smoke issues between the rocks. The sun and moon are perpetually obscured. The rain and dew never stay dry. There are red serpents, 100 feet long, and black snakes 10 girths round. The sand spitters shoot their poison at the sunbeams. The flying insects are ill with the shifting glare. The hungry monkeys dare not come down to eat. The morning birds dare not set out to fly. At the Qing River, many die of poison. Crossing the Lu, one is lucky if one is only ill. Our living feet walk on dead ground. Our high wills surmount the snares of fate. The spearboat general got but little honor. The wave subduer met with scant reward. If our prince still grudges the things that are easy to give, can he hope that his soldiers will give what is hardest to give? Note 36. The spearboat general is Hu Yin, 1st century BC. Note 37. The wave subduer is Ma Yuan, from the 1st century AD. Note 38. The things that are easy to give are rewards and titles, whereas in Note 39, what is hardest to give is life. Dreaming of a dead lady. I heard at night your long sighs and knew that you were thinking of me. As she spoke, the doors of heaven opened, and our souls conversed, and I saw her face. She set me a pillow to rest on, and she brought me meat and drink. I stood beside her where she lay, but suddenly woke, and she was not there. And none knew how my soul was torn, or how the tears fell surging over my breast. The Liberator, a political allegory, by Wu Ti, Emperor of the Liang Dynasty, AD 464 to 549. In the high trees, many doleful winds. The ocean waters lashed into waves. If the sharp sword be not in your hand, how can you hope your friends will remain many? Do you not see that sparrow on the fence? Seeing the hawk, it casts itself into the snare. The fowler to catch the sparrow is delighted. The young man to see the sparrow is grieved. He takes his sword and cuts through the netting. The yellow sparrow flies away, 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 away up to the blue sky, and down again to thank the young man. Luoyang, by the Emperor Qin Wen Ti, 6th century. A beautiful place is the town of Luoyang. The big streets are full of spring light. The lads go driving out with harps in their hands. The mulberry girls go out to the fields with their baskets. Golden whips glint at the horses' flanks. Gauze sleeves brush the green boughs. Racing dawn, the carriages come home, and the girls with their high baskets full of fruit. Winter night. My bed is so empty that I keep on waking up. As the cold increases, the night wind begins to blow. It rustles the curtains, making a noise like the sea. Oh, that those were waves which would carry me back to you. The Rejected Wife, by Yuan Ti, 508 to 554. See page 15. Entering the hall, she meets the new wife. Leaving the gate, she runs into her former husband. Words stick. She does not manage to say anything. She presses her hands together and hesitates. Agitates moon-like fan, sheds pearl-like tears. Realizes she loves him just as much as ever. That her present pain will never come to an end. People hide their love, by Wu Ti. Who says that it's by my desire, this separation, this living so far from you? My dress still smells of the lavender you gave. My hand still holds the letter that you sent. Round my waist I wear a double sash. I dream that it binds us both with the same heart knot. Did not you know that people hide their love like a flower that seems too precious to be picked? The Fairy, by the Emperor Qian Wen-ti of the Liang dynasty, who reigned during the year AD 500. Of marshmallows my boat is made. The ropes are lily roots. The poles stars athwart the sky. The moon sinks low. It's at the ferry I'm plucking lilies, but it might be the yellow river. So afraid you seem of the wind and waves. So long you tarry at the crossing. Note 40. A lady is waiting for her lover at the ferry which crosses a small stream. When he does not come, she bitterly suggests that he is as afraid of the little stream as though it were the Yellow River, the largest river in China. The Waters of Lung Tu, the Northwest Frontier, by Su Ling, AD 507 to 583. The road that I came by mounts 8,000 feet. The river that I crossed hangs 100 fathoms. The brambles so thick that in summer one cannot pass. The snow so high that in winter one cannot climb. With branches that interlace, Lung Valley is dark. Against cliffs that tower, one's voice beats and echoes. I turn my head, and it seems only a dream that I ever lived in the streets of Nanyang. Flowers and Moonlight on the Spring River by Yang Ti, 605 to 617, Emperor of the Sui dynasty. The evening river is level and motionless. The spring colors just open to their full. Suddenly a wave carries the moon away, and the tidal water comes with its freight of stars. Note 41. Carrying the moon away and its freight of stars is speaking of the reflection in the water. Chirik Song. Altun, 486 to 566 AD, was a Tartar employed by the Chinese in drilling their troops after the manner of the Huns. He could not read or write. The Youfu Guang Ti says Cao Huan attacked Pi, king of Chu, but lost nearly half his men. Cao Huan fell ill of sadness, and Pi, to taunt him, set out a proclamation which said, Cao Huan, that son of a mouse, dared to attack King Pi, but at the first stroke of sword and bow, the aggressor's plot recoiled upon himself. When this reached Cao Huan's ears, he sat up in bed and tried to comfort his officers. All the nobles were summoned to his room, and Altun was asked to sing them a song about Chirik, his native land. He sang, Chirik River lies under the dark mountains, where the sky is like the sides of a tent. Stretched down over the great steppe, the sky is gray, gray, and the steppe wide, wide, over grass that the wind has battered low. Sheep and oxen roam. Altun means gold in Tartar. No one could teach him to write the Chinese character for gold, till at last someone said, Draw the roof of your house, and then put a few strokes underneath. He thus learned, in rough fashion, to write his own name. And there is the end of Chapter 5 of 170 Chinese Poems as translated by Arthur Whaley. And the 8th reading for this collection, as narrated by Teresa Garcia or Amehana Arashi. If you enjoy these readings, or if you enjoy my own writings, please consider checking out my Patreon at www.patreon.com/Amehana and becoming a patron to help support the channel and my writings. Or you can also look up www.flashfictionfridays.com, where you can hear me reading poetry and flash fictions that generally have something, somehow to do with mythology and folklore. If you'd like to have something that you have written featured, please do write me at Teresa Amehana Garcia @gmail.com, or you could write to THG Stardragon Publishing @gmail.com about having some of your writings featured on the podcast. Until next time, I am Teresa Garcia. Happy reading.